Hello, my name is Sarah Jean Valiant, and I taught EXCO on biomedical and public health research, and it was an excellent experience. I wanted to talk about a few significant memories as an EXCO teacher and member of the community that had a major impact on my long-term academic growth. But I feel like me talking alone about those experiences is less impactful compared to hearing from other students and professionals that also benefited from this experience professionally. So I'm going to talk about my memories and conclusions that might be helpful for other teachers and have some other students and professionals that also benefited from SFSU's EXCO program. So one big memory of mine was the day that we sent out this study to peer review. This is, we worked on this with around 70 people, I believe, and like between 60 and 70, and it was a major milestone for my nonprofit. This study is the first of its kind to systematically synthesize all of the existing literature on sexual assault among homeless women to date. And it really paves a pathway for better sexual assault prevention within the homeless community. We collaborated with doctors, lawyers, scientists, and many other people in the production of this project. Some from different medical schools, the nursing school, the law school. So it was a very interdisciplinary project. And to go over the highlights of this, we found that nearly 40% of homeless women reported a lifetime experience of rape. Homeless women, 1 in 5 homeless women were raped in the past 12 months. Rates were highest among disabled LGBTQ and HIV plus women. And this statistical term, heterogeneity, basically means how different are the studies. It shows the researchers that were doing this had very inconsistent measurement tools. So our study calls for consistently measuring sexual assault. So this study, being the first of its kind in the field, was a huge milestone for EXCO. It was almost all student run. We had only 2 professors. We had a lot of grad students, PhD students. We had a lawyer working on this project. So it was a product of San Francisco State University's people. It was wonderful. Furthermore, this is, I can't find, I guess I pulled up the wrong study, but this is very close to the one that we're talking about. This is one paper that we published. It's called Cardiovascular Risk Factors Identified Among Homeless Adults in San Francisco, Recommendations for Evidence-Based Outreach Services from a Quality Improvement Initiative. So as you can see, here's a lot of authors to the paper. All of these people meaningfully contributed to the study, the internal study. So we ended up publishing this on ScholarWorks and OSF, Open Science Framework, and we took the methodology and we submitted it to a rather well-known peer-reviewed journal. It's called Evaluation Program Planning. That was another major memory from EXCO because this journal is, for its field, it's rather well indexed, and it actually passed the first round. Like, it hit the editor's desk and they approved it. So they sent it out to actual peer reviewers, which all of the people that worked on this paper were so happy and excited that we worked on a project that the journal said this is within our scope, and it completed some parts of the peer review. We're still waiting to hear back from a couple more peer reviewers before we can make revisions and hopefully get it finally published. But as you can see, most of these people are EXCO students. The majority of them are also SFSU students for those who are alumni or couldn't enroll in the class. So it was a huge deal. We had lots of unhoused people who were experiencing hypertensive emergencies. 10% of them actually had their blood pressure so high that they were at risk of having a stroke right then. It was very, very serious. 6 people. So the EXCO students learned how to take a blood pressure, take a finger stick blood draw for blood sugar, heart rate, lung sounds, and most importantly, they learned how to activate the emergency response system. So we ended up calling 911 for some people, encouraging others to go to the hospital if they refused. But either way, every person that we made contact with walked away better because of EXCO. Finally, here is another paper that we are almost ready to send out to peer review. This is a systematic review of type 1 diabetes among the homeless. We have spent months working on this project. As with most of the projects, this predates EXCO, but many EXCO students joined on. It is, again, the first of its kind, which is, why we're doing it. We have done tons of research to synthesize all the literature out there about type 1 diabetes, but there has been 0 studies to date written in English that specifically focus on type 1 diabetes among the homeless. So that's what our study is doing. We are systematically synthesizing and using the scientific method to deduce the impact of this very serious condition on unhoused people. So this study was a major milestone, and to talk a little bit about what I learned and what I think other EXCO teachers can learn is your classes should be very mission driven. Just saying, oh, I'm going to teach people how to knit, or I'm going to teach people how to bake, or I'm going to teach people how to cook is good, but you should have a mission. You should have clear objectives. You should say, I am going to teach people how to cross-stitch knit a stuffed animal, or you have to have SMART goals. If I just said at the beginning of the semester, I want to teach people how to do research, we wouldn't have worked towards these papers, publishing 4 separate papers. But by saying, clearly defining all of the layers of these projects, every step of the way, planning it out week by week, we were able to work towards those goals because they were clearly defined. So my advice to other EXCO teachers is to have a very clear objective for what you're going to teach, and don't just say, I'm going to teach this subject. I am going to have my students be able to say they did this in my class and walk away with some professional growth. So I am going to pass the mic off to some other EXCO students and professionals who are going to talk about their professional growth and recommendations throughout the
So my name is Maya, and I've had the privilege to be able to participate in this program. It's been such a great opportunity for both my professional growth and really helping me in my future as a STEM grad student. I don't go to FSSU, but I've been able to gain just so much valuable experience out of it. I've been able to get hands-on experience, being able to go out to San Francisco and take blood pressure, vital screening, but also work on the back end of things and actually help with the writing of the methodology, which we submitted to evaluation and program planning, which is, again, a respected public health journal, and really helped me with my academic goals and where I want to go professionally as a STEM student. And I was even able to help the team with life-saving resources, helping connect homeless people with life-saving resources, such as someone who claimed to be a sex trafficking victim, and we were able to provide her with resources she was able to go to and help someone as well who's having a seizure, and really help them specifically gain access and understand where the resources are to get to a medical trained professional. I also worked on a project which essentially is a systematic review and a meta-analysis, which my PA and EXCO teacher actually presented this project at UCLA Medical School and submitted it to a well-known peer-reviewed scientific journal, which really helped my resume, and it was just amazing to be able to have a part in that project. After this class, I really plan to attend more conferences, more research, especially as part of the Valiant Foundation, because it was just, again, such a great experience. And this class really helped me document real-world barriers, understanding things such as insulin shortages, lack of glucose testing, and patients really reporting that rationing of the life-sustaining medications. And we're really getting close to sending this new kind of first research to another academic journal. So I'm really excited for all of the future things that Valiant Foundation is doing. And this project, again, it's been such a great experience for me, and I really look forward to any other professional opportunities at FSSU and the Valiant Foundation to really help me present and write research, and really it's, again, been such a great growth opportunity. I'm so grateful for this program.
Hello, my name is Jacob Darren. I am a newly licensed attorney in the state of California, and I'm also the head of the ethics committee for Valiant Foundation, which funded and is in control of the research that was done in the EXCO class. During the course of the class, there were a number of harassment complaints against one of the teachers. And so it was my responsibility as head of the ethics committee to organize a trial or process to handle these complaints. So I was able to draw on my experience that I gained working in the court system and in various criminal law contexts to have to create sort of a quasi-judicial system to be able to handle it. And there were a number of complicating factors that made it difficult, but I was able to create what I think was a public and fair process for allowing both sides to present their case and to come to a fair resolution. Ultimately, the person ended up resigning, and that ended the dispute. But it was an experience I think was valuable for me to help put skills that I had learned as an attorney and as a law student into practice in the real world to resolve an actual complaint.